Cool.
Hmm.
Get through the end of January, or you
Yeah.
can go through February sometime. It's just
Okay, I'm going to leave this up here. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave that up there. We are live streaming, so just give us a second, guys. Share it. Share it in the Facebook group. This is like super unprofessional the way we're doing this, but that's okay.
It's kind of how we roll.
Never claimed to be very professional.
Yeah. You're in the wrong spot. if That's
Yes.
what you want.
All right, there we go. Maybe. Okay. Let's get it over here. Hey, Joyce. All right, we are going to be doing a special code too for some percentage off. So stick around for that.
Well, we should link the website.
Yeah. You can link the website. You can do it in the chat. Hopefully you can hear us. Now, Sarah, you are the quietest and you're the furthest back. So
I'll speak up when I need to.
yeah, we're kind of all squished in here. As you can see, Sarah's very maternally advanced.
I like that.
So just a few weeks left for Babe 3 cooking in there. So we're excited about that. And so we and Nicole are kind of just squishing ourselves in here. It's not the most professional, but that's okay. And see, Joyce thinks that you look adorable.
Thank you, Joyce.
That's nice. Okay, so I have no outline. I have no plans. We're just going to wing it.
Yes, so questions would be welcome.
Yes, please leave questions. They are a wealth of knowledge. I learn anything that I want to learn crunchy-ish.
Yeah, and we're really not that crunchy, but I mean,
We have the knowledge. for
we
how
aspire to be crunchy. But we're also practical, so.
Yeah. But that's what I like because yeah, I have some crunchy points and then, but you know, I kind of do a mix of both. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. Nice, Julia. She said for future group streams, you should set up an actual little tea table to sit around.
Nice.
We
We
could
could
do
do
have our
back
tea.
there and like bring a microphone or something back there.
Mavis sees her mom. Mavis. We do have tea that they Sarah made, right?
Yeah.
And what is in the tea?
I
It's good. It's good tea.
Yes, it's delicious.
made it for the Bible study.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. So they're into making medicinal teas. You don't sell those though, right?
Not yet. So that is something I wanted to talk about. That is our goal. And basically I have to get cottage food law license
Yes,
and
yeah.
stuff. But
And
it's
even for
so
tea.
ridiculous. For tea, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something that's not even like cooked or prepped or anything. It's a dried herb. And apparently you need licensure to sell it. So
Is that an Illinois thing or everything? Everywhere
I
thing.
think it's an everywhere thing.
Okay.
Because I even looked like if you were to start like an online website to sell tea, like you
Mhm.
need some sort of local law. So they said some might
Okay.
not, but it seems very common for tea.
Yeah.
So
Figured it was.
that is our goal. We'd really like to start getting into the tea blends and
Mhm.
things like that and selling and
Yes.
yeah.
This
And-
one, the Bible study tea is tulsi, chamomile, oat straw, nettles, and fennel.
Hmm.
And the fennel is specifically to help with milk production and helping milk flow more freely.
Which I don't need right now.
No, but but it was made for the Bible study with all the moms, new moms, older
Mhm.
moms, and all of the ingredients are hormone balancers and antidepressant ingredients and lots of good
Hormone
stuff.
developer is good for me.
Yes.
Hormone.
Mhm.
Level it out. Yes. Stabilizer.
Yeah,
So
I've
very
kind
nice.
of touched on it, but I've been struggling too lately. Like it's the first time in 11 years that I haven't been pregnant or nursing, and my body is showing signs.
Mhm. Yeah.
I've definitely been like, my cycle is very regular, and it was jumping like 3 to 5 days, and like, yeah, and then acne and all sorts of stuff. And so I've
We
been working on
do
that.
We
Been
have a
researching.
microphone, but I don't know if we could switch it. Like, I don't know
The
how it
sound
would be.
bad.
Yeah. how it would be withholding. I knew Sarah would be quiet.
I could hold it.
I can always
knew
switch spots
Sarah
with
would
her
be
too.
Quiet.
Try switching.
Yeah, you want to switch spots?
Looks like you have enough.
Yeah, you'll be
Yeah.
closer to the, it's actually coming through, the camera right there.
Okay.
So
No, I'm sorry.
you gotta move around.
Get my stuff out of your way.
Okay, so I'm
All
just gonna
right.
lean in. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
You need to speak up. I can barely hear you. Sorry.
Uh-huh. Sarah always has a very quiet voice as it is, so yes, we'll just try to be really quiet when she's talking. But who wants to be the one, or I could try to get this to work, I guess. I don't know how it would work with. I think I would have to switch the audio really quickly. Let me see real quick, just a second. I would have to switch the audio to hello, hello, hello.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. See if that's working.
Okay. There you go. Okay, so now let's see if we can hear this better. Are we gonna play past the mic? We're gonna play past the mic, yes. Okay, so who wants to start off by just letting us know how this idea was born with the business, where you started? Nicole, you've been into herbs longer than Sarah, correct?
I have, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to hear?
Okay. Hello. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so herbs started with me long time ago. I think I was like 13, and I was like into witchcraft and paganism and that whole thing. And even back then I didn't really I didn't grasp the medicinal use of it. I thought they were cool, and you know, whatever, you're a teenager, so you just think that stuff is cool. But that's where it started. And then I got saved, and then so I used to like burn sage and like do stupid stuff like that. Like I never really like made a cup of tea with an intentional medicinal purpose. Like it was all to do with like the pagan religion. And but then when I got saved, I like took all my stuff and like threw it out and just got rid of it. And I was hesitant to work with it or do anything with it because well, I just didn't want to go against God, and I didn't want to be practicing witchcraft and whatnot. So I prayed about it a lot because it was still on my heart, and it was like a core part of who I was for a long time.
Oh, and and okay, this is awkward. And
Welcome to
so,
doing what?
yes, but we need like the heads. I'd feel cooler with the big headsets
Yeah.
on here. But yeah, so I started praying about it, and then God showed me, I forget the exact verse, but it's like in Deuteronomy when it's talking about what all the Levites and the priests do, and they mix all these herbs and oils and all this stuff, and it was after the art of apothecary. And so that showed me very clearly that you can work with these plants and these things that God created, and if you do it in a proper way where you're not like worshiping this plant or like thinking that this plant is doing something for you spiritually, then you know it's not a sin. I mean, obviously God created all that stuff. So long story short, after I kind of came to that realization, then I really started getting into the natural aspect of it. And then my son was born, and I did cloth diapering, and he was getting horrible rashes. And so then came in the salve, and yeah, and that was how we met.
I started too.
Yep. Yeah. The cloth diapering and the rashes and
Yep.
stuff. So that started that. And then it just kind of progressed from there. And then, yeah, that's how I met Sarah, was throwing some salve at her when she had a diaper rash. And
Okay, so before this, you came from, you didn't really get into this stuff until Nicole?
Not until I got pregnant with Mavis. I went from a very, what would you call it, like a mainstream kind of idealism with parenting to getting pregnant and then wanting to make better decisions for my daughter than what I had made for myself up to that point, eating Taco Bell more than once a week. And I found organic food, and Nicole and I started talking about that a little bit, but after I had my daughter, she got a diaper rash that would not go away. It ended up being a hard water thing and we got it figured out. But the salve, she had just like this little tiny container of it and said that I could have it and bring it back for a refill whenever I needed. And that was the beginning
In
of
her armpits too. remember?
Yes,
Yeah, she had
yeah.
a weird armpit thing.
She
but-
used to get like a yeast buildup in her armpits.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
and I was trying to use cornstarch on it, which apparently you're not supposed to do.
Mm.
So
It's better than Johnson and Johnson baby
yeah,
powder. So
yeah, it was better than baby powder for sure. So I went with the salve and then postpartum hit very shortly after that. And we worked on a tincture together because I was not functioning well. And I didn't know about medications. And once I did learn about the medications, I still tried other tinctures first, just because the less chemicals that you put into your body when you're breastfeeding, the less chemicals will go to your baby. So I was trying to be as natural as possible with that. And I learned a ton about tincture making and started learning about the different properties of herbs in the process of that.
So I want to show the salve. I want to say too about the salve. I actually had given this to, I think it was, we made some of this. There it is. Can't really see it, but it's olive oil infused with calendula, yarrow. I might not say these right. Chamomile, arnica, beeswax, lavender essential oil, tea tree essential oil, frankincense. But this stuff is really good. We had put it in a basket for one of our guest speakers' wives. And it's actually my my husband's aunt, and they were staying with my in-laws. And she gave some to my mother-in-law, who has like this yeast, is something in her ears. It's like a little yeast spot in her ears, and she started using the salve on it, and it took care of it.
Mhm.
So she actually ended up buying more because she liked it so much. She's like, what was in that salve? It was so good. So this is kind of like, it's called famous healing salve. This is kind of the thing that kicked it all off, I
Yeah.
think. And I make my own now. It's
Yeah.
actually pretty easy. You can use the Instant Pot, and we will try to put directions for it but if you just would rather buy it, there it is. And how much do you sell this for?
The 2 ounces, 8. And then
dinner.
we have a 1 ounce that's 5. We wanted to keep it very affordable. So moms on a budget can afford it. And if you cannot afford it this way, but you have access to herbs and oil, we can teach you how to make it. So
I will say though that last year is when I bought all my stuff to make the salve, and I had done it with a Christmas gift, and it was over $100 to buy everything for it because I bought the pound size bags. Yes.
Access to fresh herbs, you can do it way cheaper.
Yes, you can do it a lot cheaper, but because I had bought everything off Amazon and I tried to do a lot of organic, but I will say though, I only made the salve once. It made 12 tins, and I still have a ton to make more. So they do last forever. Yeah. So what are some ways, Nicole, I'm going to give it to you, that you started kind of transitioning into more of a non-toxic lifestyle when it came to different things? And someone just asked, what is this channel about? This channel is about primarily motherhood and being a good wife. And it's called Gently Led Sisters, and we're here for moms, moms and wives primarily, and we talk about things relating to that. So that's what this channel is about.
Yeah. So how close? Okay. So so I got into non-toxic living because so like I don't know. I'm kind of into the whole personality thing, and like I am kind of an achiever or whatever. I was book smart as a kid, and I like learning, and I like doing all that stuff. So then when I found out about the pokes, what do you say? I don't want to get you in trouble.
Jabs.
Okay. So I discovered the jabs. And once that happened, I went down a rabbit trail and I got crazy into it. Like, I mean, just consuming all the information that I could. And that led me to GMOs. That led me down everywhere you can go, which is like a spider web of crazy information.
Jump in here real quick.
How long ago?
This was
You're gonna jump in?
real quick.
yeah, jump in.
Okay, so the first time that I met Nicole, I told her that we were not vaccinating, sorry, not
Oh, yeah.
jabbing our
gonna
our
get us
child. And when I said that, she immediately asked me what kind of research I had done, and she was like asking if I had like you had this huge binder printed out, and you were
Yep.
she was asking if I had read all of these studies, and I was like, no, I just know it's bad. So that was my initial first meeting of Nicole, was finding out how intense it really can be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, and like I came from a family who is not into this at all. They have always thought that I was always the black sheep, but now I became a black sheep for an even greater reason. And so I wanted answers of why. I'm not going to look at my family and tell them I'm doing something completely against all of what they think is normal because this person told me to. I was going to have my own reasons. I was going to know why I was doing what I was doing. And yeah, so that led me down into toxins in our environment. And, well, if we're shoving this into our babies' bodies, what else are we doing? And then it was what's in our food, what's in our water. I mean, Paul Wittenberger has that great documentary, Fluoride on Tap. And then what in the world are they spraying? Another great one. So there's just endless, you can go down so many different ways. But when I started that, I was like, okay, I went to bare basics of what can I do, and like, so then when he got those rashes, it was like, well, what can I do to help this rash instead of just going to the store and buying, because like you said, Sarah, most of this stuff, if I were to go to the store and buy an all natural cream, organic ingredients, I'm paying upwards of $8 to $12
For the small
a small one, and so I was like, and that was years ago. Now it's probably like 15 to 20 with inflation. So, it was like, what can I do in that area? And that's what started that. And then I started realizing the creativity aspect of it, I guess, where you can go with it. Yeah, you can do it so many different ways. And, it can seem overwhelming when you get into herbs because how many plants are there? Countless, and each plant has amazing properties. Like there's very few plants that are not helpful to us. So it's, yeah, that's kind of where that went.
And then what about you, Sarah? How did you start the transition, and what did you transition out first, I guess?
So I started out with cloth diapering, and it was a money thing, and then gradually transitioned into non-GMO foods, which I have had to switch back to because of financial reasons. But as we're more financially stable, we'll be back to our non-GMO and organic when we can. The next transition was from cloth diapers to cloth pads, because once you start digging into the diaper world, you find so much. And it's like that with any sort of natural living, like any sort of topic, you're going to find layers to it. And I'm not as committed as some are because I don't have the time that I'm willing to put into it. But you can find a lot more reasons why you should live naturally. So
We should talk about the bottled water.
Oh, yes, when when I switched onto the tincture to try and help with my postpartum, I was at the time drinking exclusively bottled water because I knew tap water was bad. It smells disgusting, tastes disgusting, and I know that it's not good for people. So I went from bottled water to buying a Berkey, and that is how I filtered my water after. And I noticed way less hormonal fluctuations as far as like the huge ups and downs just from going from the bottled water with the microplastics and hormone disruptors that come with drinking from plastic constantly. Going from that to drinking filtered water that has very little access to plastic and drinking it from a glass water bottle instead of the plastic.
Yeah. I think someone asked how you wash them. Are you talking about
Wash.
diapers?
The cloth diapers you wash like you would normal laundry. You just do 2 washes, and then you do a sniff check before you dry it. My routine is a normal wash for both cycles. Some people do, like, they'll alternate a normal and a heavy, or the other way around, heavy and normal. It just depends on what your diapers need. It's just really dirty laundry. It's not so complicated.
Right. I had done cloth diapers for Kelly for 9 months or so. And I think you have a wet bag, you can buy a giant wet bag and then you put them all in. So I did laundry about twice a week, diapers about twice a week. I had enough. And like Sarah said, yep. Oh, the pads too. Yep. And you could spray them with peroxide first, Sarah said, and then put them in there. I don't use the cloth. I use something else. I use the menstrual cup. If you're a man, don't listen.
That's
Because
their own fault. They're on
yes,
Gently Led
they're on
Sisters.
Gently Led Sisters. You shouldn't be listening anyways. So, but since I have changed to that, it's completely changed my life when it comes to this, because I no longer have cramping. We were just talking about this yesterday. I no longer have cramping. I no longer have heavy cycles. It's very painless. I feel like I am just, it's any other day using that, and it's completely changed my life when it comes to that. So that's the biggest thing I've made a change in. Doing it.
With the cloth pads too, just like you were mentioning with the cup, the cramps and the way that your hormones are affected is drastically reduced because you're not the disposable industry is not regulated with diapers or with pads. So they can tell you all day long what they're putting in them and how clean they are and how they're safe for your body. But when you start digging, just like with the diapers that I was talking about earlier, you're going to find all kinds of things that they're putting in your pads that are disrupting your hormones. They're causing extra cramping. They're causing extra bleeding. And when people switch to cloth or a cup, they notice that their bleeding lessens significantly because you're not introducing things that are made to make you buy more of their product. It is a money-making industry. All disposable products are a money-making industry. With the cloth diapers, you spray out the poop first, or you can like dunk and swish in the toilet. There are many methods of getting it out. You just make sure it goes in the toilet, not in your washer. If your baby's breastfed, you don't have to spray it out until they start solids, or if they're on formula, then you want to spray it out.
When I did the cloth diapers, I got a diaper sprayer off Amazon and I put it on my toilet and with Kelly. I did with Kelly. Yes. And I still have them all, but I didn't do it with Hannah. Sorry, Hannah. Yes, it is. I have used them when I've ran out of other diapers. So after I had 2 that were 2 and under, I did not do the cloth diapers again. So that's why Hannah didn't get them, but I did do them with Kelly. So Kelly was the lucky one. But yeah, you can get a pretty inexpensive diaper sprayer and the force is very strong and you can just spray off everything into the toilet. And you could probably even do that with cloth pads and things too. So I'm not near as crunchy as Nicole and Sarah, but they have gotten me to switch over Nicole wants me to completely give up all of my lotions, fragrances with anything in it. And that's one thing that's good about these. The deodorant. You want to talk about deodorant?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So the deodorant is that is a creation that has been years in the making because I have tried many natural deodorants from cornstarch and baking soda to arrowroot powder, kale and clay. I tried one like that, so it was a lighter color. But I always go back to the bentonite clay because it just works better for me. Like
Helps to detox.
Yep, and it also helps detox too. That's what
irritating.
No, it's not irritating. We can lessen the baking soda because of that bentonite clay, which makes it way less irritating for people who are switching over to a natural deodorant. And it also makes it work better. Because a lot of times you'll switch and you're just like, yeah, there's no way I'm sticking with this. This is horrible. Because your body also detoxes. So if you're using a traditional antiperspirant from the store, it's actually clogging your pores to stop you from perspirating. And our armpits are right in our lymphatic system. And so that's actually where we're trying to detox. That's what our sweat is. It's our body getting rid of all the toxins and grime in there. Thank you.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah. So you don't want to clog that up because that's going to cause even more issues. And so you go through a detox period when you switch, and it is worse. But this is something that people haven't had a hard time switching with. They'll use it, and it actually still works for them. It works for our husbands. They've been using it for years, and so they do manly jobs. Like your husband works on trucks. He's a diesel mechanic, and mine is a butcher. So
Kind of outdoor, heavy duty kind of work.
yep, yeah, lots of sweating involved. So yeah, they don't come home, they stink, but not like that.
Work stinking.
Well, I've never noticed any of them stinking. So I have not completely switched over, but these, I got the Sage, was it the Forest? I like the Forest. I keep like starting to switch, and then I have a really busy day and I feel like I stink. So I switch back to the bad stuff, and then I switch back and back and back, but little strides, right? You use the natural deodorant as well, right?
Yes, I use the natural deodorant, and I have since I found out about it from Nicole. I started trying to use Lumi. That's the one that you've mentioned
yes.
before. I started trying to use that before we met, and I noticed like I would have a really good stretch, and then all of a sudden it would stop working for me. When I switched to the bentonite clay deodorant, I've not noticed it stops working unless my body actually needs to detox.
Yeah.
So, the question from Julia, or the comment from Julia, we have done a light baking soda. That's what the one that we sell in our store is. That is our lighter option. We can do like a heavier one if you can tolerate it, but the one that we sell is the lighter intentionally because baking soda is so irritating.
And Joyce said that she can't do any baking soda. So would
do a straight bentonite clay. Yeah, you could do straight bentonite clay. So if you're looking up recipes and you want to make your own and you see the baking soda in there, just up the bentonite clay on there. And it does, the thing about it too, why I've always tried to do something different is the color. When you do it, it's like green. I don't know if anybody's ever done a facial mask with bentonite clay, also fantastic for that. But yeah, so it's a darker color, which it does rub in clear, but sometimes you're in a hurry and you just globber it on and it gets on your clothes. It's fine. It washes right out. It's just clay, but it puts some people off sometimes when they see it and they're like, oh, whoa, it's not white deodorant like I'm used to. So
I thought that was just because it was called Forest.
No.
I did not know it was because it was the color. Oh, that's funny. I thought it's foresty. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. But yeah, I will use it. I try to use that primarily on the days I am home.
Yeah.
For the whole day. I'm gonna have to try it now that I've been working out. I'm gonna have to try it and see how it holds up when I'm working out. But so does yours have any baking soda in it?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yes, a little bit. And then essential oils too. So if anybody's sensitive to essential oils, just read the labels. We label everything with everything we put in it. So that I think the only thing that's not like completely is our lip balm, which we just made, which we just put,
You want me to?
yeah.
I just listed the name of the essential oil blend that we used.
Mhm.
There's access to that on the website Revive. We used their pumpkin spice latte essential oil blend. So you can, yes, it smells lovely.
I was gonna say for the baking soda, Joyce, I am also super I have tried natural deodorants before that were homemade and they had a lot of baking soda in it, and I did break out. So I'm also super sensitive, and I've never broke out with the one that they make.
And my husband too is incredibly sensitive to baking soda, and he does not break out with this recipe that we're using for the business. He used to get, yeah, he was our guinea pig because he's so sensitive, and he rashed really bad with the original recipe that I was doing good with. So we lessened it until we got to a point where he could handle it, and he does fine with this one. Wears it all day.
Okay, so my two biggest things that I've benefited from is the lotion. I
Mhm.
do you guys have any lotion with? No.
We don't sell that in the
Don't sell
business.
it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
We would like to. Yeah, we would like to. We have so many ideas and so many I'm like an endless pot of like, Sarah, let's do this and let's do that. But honestly,
Sarah's like, "I have no money."
yeah, it's a financial thing. You know, both of us are, both we're stay-at-home moms. We only had so much to put in. And so we came up with some really core products that we like, which are going to be our salve, our deodorant, and our eye serum are always going to be there. Those are our three. And we'll talk about the eye serum in a little bit. We want to do seasonal stuff when we do make enough because our farmers. Yep. Yeah. And our farmers markets is where we really sold enough to actually start trying new stuff. That's why we got the lip balm out there for the holiday season and stuff like that. So yeah, once we start the markets back up again, and if we start making and generating a bigger income, or hopefully we can grow a platform a little bit online, we're hoping. We have to be a little more consistent, but we're trying. We're both in taxing seasons. So
Yeah, it takes a lot to build a business. I haven't yet to try the eye serum though, and I want to try that. And is that a roller?
Mm-hmm.
It's a metal roller, so.
It's a metal roller. Here, you talk about it while I.
You talk about the recipe.
Okay.
And then I'll talk about
Okay.
the packaging.
So this is an old recipe too, that I started using when I was, no, show them because I have so many people ask me how to apply it. And
It's like that.
yep. And I actually do my whole T-zone. So I'll even do, that forehead wrinkle. You know what I'm talking about, ladies, that forehead wrinkle. Yeah. Yeah. And then these right here. And I'll even go down my neck sometimes if I've been using this since I was like 24 and I started noticing crow's feet.
I already look young.
I know. It does actually. So the way it works is that it hydrates. So it hydrates and plumps the skin and thus making your wrinkles look less. So yes. And then it's also very good for you. So it's a vitamin E and an evening primrose base. And then we do a couple essential oils. What do we put in there? Geranium, lavender, and frankincense. So yeah, and all those are so good for your skin and super simple. That is our bestseller by far. We had one lady, funny story. I got to tell it real quick. We had one lady at the market who is like, because we put testers out of all of our stuff at the market. And she's like, well, I'm going to put it on my one eye because she had lots of bags and wrinkles. And she's like, we'll walk around. If I notice a difference, I'm going to come back. She came running back and bought like 3 that day, bought one for her sister, her other sister that wasn't there. Like it was so funny because you could tell a visible difference in her eyes. So it's funny. I like seeing when it works.
So we're gonna look at my eyes again at the end. And if it's worked, then you'll all be sold on it. So I haven't even used it. I need to though, because I have bags under my eyes quite a bit. So Joyce asked, how is it with acne? And Nicole, you've made some stuff.
Yes.
Too with acne.
The eye serum, I put it on dry spots. I don't have acne, but I do have like hormonal breakouts. And I've not noticed it makes it any worse. And I've not noticed that it gives, when you add oil to an already oily situation, it gets really bubbly and weird. I have not noticed any of that with it. I've not noticed it's bad on either oily or dry skin. Because I'd say mine is more dry, but I have the like oily kind of breakouts, and then Nicole's is more normal.
Yeah.
And yeah. So it is, we did it in a roller form with a metal tip, so it helps with the puffiness and swelling. So if you use it the morning of, whenever you're going out, or if you put it in your morning routine instead of your evening routine, it helps directly with puffiness from overnight.
So then let's look at this bug bite roller. That is the same concept, right?
Yeah.
It looks like you have plantain yarrow tincture.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, so this is one of my favorites, and it doesn't seem stunning when you look at the ingredients or you see it, but this has been amazing for my kids.
Share instructions. I can put them in the.
Yeah.
Can I take it
Yes.
real quick?
I can put instructions in the Gently Led Sisters group if you need, or you can private message me on Facebook or Instagram. to get instructions on any of this stuff. Our Instagram that Nicole and I both use is Sage and Solace Apothecary, and I can link that in the Gently Led Sisters Facebook group.
Okay. Yeah, so the bug bite stuff, that was, my boys would swell up to like the size of golf balls when they would get bit by mosquitoes and things like that. And, kids are always out playing. And so that I came across, and I've just never even really had to mess with that recipe. It has worked for years for me, and it will take down swelling. It will take out the sting and the pain. I use it on wasp stings on my kids, itching, yes, rashes. So the plantain pulls the toxins out of your skin, and the yarrow soothes and heals. And so both those things combined are just, they work great. So that one too, we sell cheap. And yeah, I think it's like $5. And yeah, if you have kids, or if you have rashes, any sort of thing like that, that you get like inflammation on your skin, that would be very helpful for it.
All right. So then we've got bug spray, and that, yeah, self-explanatory.
Same idea as the store-bought stuff.
Same idea. It's got the is it yarrow? Yarrow. It's yarrow.
Yarrow tincture. This one is yarrow tincture, citronella, essential oil, tea tree essential oil, lemongrass, and cedarwood essential oils. The yarrow tincture, the bugs don't like yarrow. Bugs generally don't like herbs and herbal things. So whatever strongly scented herbs that you use are going to repel bugs. We used yarrow specifically because it will help with bites in the process of helping you to
Keep them away.
keep away the bugs.
And then we have the hand sanitizer. I have seen Nicole using this a lot.
I do.
This would have been great during 2020.
I know. And I thought it would have been a bigger hit at the market during the fall season, with cold and flu coming up. People really aren't scared anymore, I guess. So, I'll take that as a positive though. But so that is colloidal silver, which I make, and then distilled water. And then we use like a 4 Thieves blend of essential oils. So the 4 Thieves is just, that traditional, I think, what is it? Is it? Okay. Yeah. So clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So all just germ fighting powerhouses. So I use that all the time. Sometimes, because this is where I get kind of crunchy. I hate the soap at public restrooms. It's terrible soap, and my kid, so sometimes I won't even have them use the soap. I'll just have them use hot water, and then I spray them down with the hand sanitizer afterwards, so they'll ask me now when we go, they're like, should I use soap, Mom? And, depending on where we are, I'll be like, yes or no.
Okay. So someone asked me talk about sunblock. We did not. You guys don't make sunblock.
No, it's been on a list of what I want to use, but I haven't gotten around to making my own. I just don't use sunblock.
We don't use
I
it.
do aloe if I get burnt.
So with sun exposure, it's just like anything else. Too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. Use a sun hat and stay out
Yeah,
of
I
the
use
sun
sun.
responsibly. It's not, I don't think sunblock is a necessary thing, but anyone who is in the skincare world would disagree with me on that. So that's the measures that I take. I just stay out of the sun responsibly, go out when I need more vitamin D, and stay in when I don't.
My kids tend to get very, very tan in the
Mhm.
summer, and most of them tan very well. I have a few I'm very fair skinned, so I do burn it, but I have just learned to take proper precautions, like Sarah said. I'd rather do a sun hat than sunscreen. I just don't use it. I don't know. What are your thoughts about sunscreen?
Yeah, I don't use it, and I wouldn't use it unless it was made. I don't want to go down that rabbit trail. You are more than welcome to go down that rabbit trail, but it can get pretty crazy, that one particularly. But yeah, I wouldn't use sunscreen unless I knew that it was safe. Because they put a lot of stuff in there that you just wouldn't want in your skin. So yeah, didn't aloe if you burn, and it'll heal. So yeah. Do we have any other products, or was that?
I think that's pretty much it with
Okay.
the products. You guys wanted to do a discount code though, right? We're going to link to everything and the discount code and all that. So
The discount code is going to be a 20% off running through January 31st. And it's 20% off using the discount code GLS20 at the checkout.
Very nice. That's pretty good. I think I'm gonna get some eye serum.
Yes, nice.
No, so that's awesome. Your next line needs to be, so they do make lotion for like us lucky people that go to church here. So you'll just have to move here and go to church here if you want some. So I do buy lotion from them and it's amazing stuff. But like makeup,
I thought about it. I've mentioned it. Like I said, I'm a non-ending pot of things I want to make and do and whatever. I have thought about makeup. I have looked into making makeup, but again, that would be a whole nother investment of like different, you need tints of like all the, I forget what you call them, the colors that you would use to make makeup and stuff like that, and different powders and things that we don't typically use. So I think teas are going to be top priority on our list of what we're doing. And I don't know about Sarah. I guess we haven't officially like talked about it, but I think both of us, are very womanly minded. When we think about herbs and what we're doing, it's about women's health and moms and postpartum and things like that, helping you heal, especially after having a baby or things like that. We're very focused on that. Not that like, our guys don't use our stuff or we don't throw some stuff at them when they need it, but and like children's health and things like that. So I think as you see our business grow, that's kind of the direction we're probably going to go. I just finished reading, Sarah got the book, Hormone Balance by Dr. Aviva Ram. That was fantastic. I learned a lot reading that, and I'm really kind of venturing towards like adaptogenics and things like that, that we can gently start helping our bodies balance out, And I did a post the other day on Instagram about stress, because I think that's one of our main things that we really need to check is, and what we can control. It's hard to control, but it's within our control to be mindful of our reactions and be mindful of taking that down a notch, because our bodies do react to that and they want to protect us. They're not trying to hurt us. They're trying to balance us out. But so yeah, I think that's really, we're going to head down that with teas and things like that. And hopefully I'll have to look more into it when I do get the cottage law license, but tinctures as well. So really medicinal. The lotions are definitely on there, but that's going to be like probably a seasonal or a specialty item that we'll throw out there.
The lotions do not like the heat, so selling them at a farmer's market is not exactly ideal. And farmers markets are where we make most of our sales. So like Nicole said, it will be probably a seasonal thing. And it is a very rich body butter. And it's something that when I make it, I like to gift it because it's so extravagant and it's such a frivolous thing.
Yeah.
So that is something that I really enjoy making personally. And a lot of the stuff that we do for the business is just scratching the surface of what we make for ourselves and our families. Like Nicole said, we are focused on mainly women and children because that's where most of the issues come because of hormone imbalances, and kids are always getting into all kinds of different things. Sorry, you go ahead. I'm just reading.
You want to answer that question that she said you send outside US?
We do not currently ship outside of the US. We are working on shipping in general. We've just started the website in the last few months. So we're still working on getting the shipping process down before we bring in shipping outside the US. And Kaylin's comment, we do not make bar soap. Soaps are a totally different field than what we're in right now. Julia
I personally make it. Yeah,
Julia makes bar soaps, and she has some really cool recipes, and she has a lot of information on that if you're interested.
Now, could you do any type of special order? I know for Abby, Nicole has made her like a acne gel. Do you want to say what you put in that? And
Yeah.
could they special order it if they
Yeah.
wanted to?
I'll have to talk to Sarah about special orders. She's my money manager. I'm the idea person. I just look at her and tell her, can we do this? She keeps me in check. That's why we work so well together. Because if it was up to me, this was well beyond like what I would have done or done it well. I would have just gone and done a million things that, and yeah, it wouldn't have been good. So we work well together. She keeps me in a realistic area that I need to stay. So yeah, so the acne gel was really simple. It's aloe vera, and you put in just a couple essential oils. I think I did a post on it. I handmade the aloe vera from the plant this time for the first time ever, and it worked out quite well. I was waiting to see if there was like separation or anything weird, but it seemed to work good. And then it was just some essential oils in there. Super simple. I could probably post the recipe somewhere or wherever else. It was like geranium, lavender, tea tree, I think was that, and some aloe vera. So I can't remember if I thinned out the aloe vera or not with distilled water or something, but yeah, I'll double check and look, but that was super simple. And that's like makes like a really nice mask under your makeup. So if you like to wear a lot of makeup and stuff, and that's obviously not helping your skin, that will create like a little barrier that'll help keep your pores clean and stuff like that. So yeah. And like if the specialty items are kind of within definitely topical, like not ingested, that's the one thing. Until I get that license, we can't do anything ingested. If you have ideas, throw them at us, send us questions. If it's possible, we would be willing to do something. It's just, obviously we can't just say yes to anything and then, you come at us with something crazy. So
A lot of the special order items are things that we don't keep things in the Sage and Solace stash for. So it would be coming from personal stashes, and that's when things get expensive because we buy things for our personal stash that we would not pay for the business. So we don't take within the business, we do not take special orders, but personally we can. There was another question. Where can you purchase the items? There is a link at the top of the live stream comments. I will post a link underneath the video when it's finished, and then I will post it again in the Gently Led Sisters group on Facebook.
I'm going to copy it and put it again.
Cassandra is copying it and putting it in the live chat now. If you'd like to open it in a browser.
no.
That says
That's
YouTube.
not it.
I can go ahead and comment it again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to food related things, Nicole is also trying to go more, and this is like a natural living type show,
It is. Yeah.
And for me, most of you that know me or have been watching my show know that I do what I can, but I can't because I can't do all organic or all non-GMOs or whatever. But I think it's just little steps here and there that will definitely help. So if someone is just new to the non-toxic living lifestyle, what would be the most important thing you think that you would focus on first?
Your water. Your water, number one. Like I have a Berkey, and I love my Berkey, especially moving from the country to the city, going from well water to tap water. I really like that I had that. So I would look at your water, where you're getting that. And then I would just look at that dirty dozen list, because like you said, you can't do everything all at once. That's impossible. But what are the main things that you're eating? The core things that you're eating all the time. Those are the things you're going to want to look at. Those are the things you're going to want to invest in, that you're consuming a lot of. So
I agree, water first, because that's how you
I
hydrate.
haven't even.
And
I drink my well water. I drink my well water.
Yes,
So
Cassandra has access to
Mhm.
well water. So that's something that you don't have to be so concerned about if you are on well water. The next thing that I would go for would be food, specifically things that you eat in bulk. I eat a lot of dairy, so I should be making more of my own dairy products. We have switched to raw milk because that is a huge source of health for your family. And when I have time, I'm going to be buying extra of the raw milk and working on things like sour cream and cream cheese and things that I eat daily that I buy store bought. So you just want to go wherever your main source of food is. You want to try and replace that as you're able. We both bought our Berkeys on Berkey.com. They have different sizes, and they also have different filter options. So I use both the black filter, gets rid of most everything. And then I also buy the fluoride filter, because fluoride is something that's poison on tap, as as we talked about earlier. So it's something that is very not safe for you, and it's not safe for your children. So that's an extra expense that I put in because I think it's worth it.
We, I think most everyone in the church is on city water. I think we are one of the only ones that is on well, and you're on city water too. You're in town. So, the water here is so bad in Rock Falls and Sterling that you can literally, it smells like a swimming pool. We used to live in town. Yes, we used to live in town, and anytime the kids would take a bath, it smelled like a swimming pool. Like I would walk in the bathroom, it smelled like a swimming pool. So, we had drank, I think, distilled water at the time. I haven't gotten a Berkey. I want to eventually. It's just one of those expenses I haven't gotten to. But shortly after moving here, within a year, we only lived in that house a year. We moved to the country, and we've been living there now 11 years, and it's like the best water. I love the taste of it. I love well water. I'm partial to it. It's not eggy or anything. So, and then like Sarah said, we also switched to raw milk. Probably my biggest thing is I have not eliminated a lot of the cleaning toxins in the home.
Vinegar.
My husband hates vinegar.
Essential oils in it.
He hates vinegar. I can't clean with vinegar. I'm sorry.
Essential oils.
Going
like
away
chocolate
from
basket.
vinegar,
can't.
you have the option of peroxide. It
Oh, I could do
cleans
peroxide.
everything, and it smells like nothing. And you can do different strengths for different areas. So in my bathroom, I use a higher strength peroxide than I do just for countertops. So you have other options. And you can dilute vinegar with water, or make an herbal vinegar with lemons and different thyme things that smell delightful. Yeah.
Hello. But yeah, I just think,
Can you talk about your detergent for your laundry?
oh, I do make my own detergent. So it's really simple. It's literally just washing soda, baking soda, and salt. I do, yep, citric acid. I do, not in my laundry. So I do grate up a bar of like Kirk's Castle, Castile
good.
soap and
Mhm.
put that in there. That wasn't in the original recipe, but it's just something I've always done. I just, like, I'm getting on Cassandra about the fragrances are huge, you know, and especially reading that book by Dr. Aviva. I mean, we're talking just like micro particles affect your hormones when you're talking about synthetic fragrances. So if you can't even smell it, it's still affecting you. Like that's how small the fragrances are, or the particles. So
In fertility clinics, something I learned recently, they do not allow their employees to wear artificial fragrances to work because of how much they affect fertility. So if it affects your fertility that bad, how bad is it affecting the rest of your body? And artificial fragrances in everything. It's in your cleaning products, it's in your detergent, it's in
Natural soap.
natural soaps. You can be, they call it greenwashing. You can be greenwashed into buying like a cleaner looking soap, and the back of the label is going to tell you exactly the same thing that's in the highly toxic, heavily fragranced one, just right down the other side of the shelf. So you've got to look into what's important to you to strip out of that ingredient list, and you can get into making your own like Julia does, or you can look for cleaner options. You're going to be paying for it, as I've said in another show, either in time or in money. So yeah, soap can be very expensive, but it's important to get fragrance out altogether.
I remember when I was pinching pennies, like really, really bad. I made my own laundry soap. one time, like years and years ago, but I haven't, I just buy Tide, whatever.
Buy Tide free and clear, even though I know.
buy
that
the
it's
scented, yeah, that's,
They
No.
say there's still.
yeah.
No, I know they're, my main thing is, and that's so funny what you say about the fertility, because can you imagine how fertile I'd be if I didn't use fragrances?
Yeah, your
I
Bath
mean,
and
oh
Body
my
Works.
goodness. Yes, my
Yeah.
Bath and Body Works that I get once a year.
Talking about fertility and the way that fragrance has altered it over the years. Back in the day, women were able to track their cycles better because they were not affected by so many environmental factors and toxin factors.
Well, that doesn't affect me.
You have strong fertility.
Yes.
Sandra. Yes. Well, and that's the thing. Everybody's different and everybody's going to be affected differently. So, your family might be more prone to having gluten intolerances or something. I mean, you're just going to have to your family and what's affecting you the worst. And if you're having tons of skin rashes, then I would really look at your soaps and that kind of stuff. So everybody's going to have to take their own journey on it, and you can go a million different ways. It's just like you said, taking those small steps. I started this journey 11 years ago, and I'm still, there's always something else you're going to want to do. The main thing is just don't stress about it. I think one of the things I really came to terms with, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago is we can only do what we can do with the knowledge that we have. And then the rest of it has to go into the Lord's hands. I mean, we pray over our food. We are thankful for what he gives us. And, if it's completely filled with chemicals and we know that, we also know he's capable of keeping us healthy. And so I think he knows our hearts and where we're at. And if we're doing the best we can, I really do believe that he will take care of the rest no matter what. So,
Yeah. But I definitely do encourage those that maybe are having fertility problems.
yes.
That could definitely be one of the factors. I do think that is why, as every year goes on and we get more and more toxins, we have more and more women. Well, that and then the artificial birth control pills, I think, contribute a lot to it. And then
It's gonna get
also,
even worse after this last little jab.
yes,
coming
it
out.
is. And then also, even with the birth control pills, that part, I've heard that they're being flushed down and they're
Yes,
getting
they
into
are.
our water supply.
Antidepressants, yes, yeah, antidepressants to all kinds of antibiotics, just whatever is getting like whatever's being shoved into the society at the time is being shoved into your water supply if you're on city water. So that's
Berkey will filter out pharmaceuticals, the basic black filter. So that's something that you really got to watch. That's why Nicole and I both think water is the top priority.
yeah, I think it is. And your body's what, 70% water, 75%? Don't quote me here. Yeah, in a class, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of water. So, so yeah, you just start there and you just start working your way down wherever you can. And just being aware of it, I think, is the first battle. Knowing that, these things aren't good for you is going to make you more mindful when you see something that is similarly priced and you can get the other one. Then, that's what you do. So.
The reverse osmosis system that is it Elena that you've mentioned is a very good option. My sister was treated for cancer, and when she was at St. Jude, they use reverse osmosis as a filtration, and that's something that in Memphis, that's something that their water is treated with. They reverse osmosis filter it.
In Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they have clean enough tap water to drink there, but it's very rare, and it's mainly because of they know that water is life, and you've got to make sure that it's clean.
That's awesome. Okay, so wrapping it up, my favorite, I think, out of their products is number one, I do like the salve. And then once I started making that, we have it here in our nursery
Yeah.
for anyone that needs it. And in the wintertime, Kelly would get little patches on her skin of eczema, like dry eczema, because Illinois winters are very, very harsh. And as soon as I started using that after every bath, it went away. So we no longer struggle with the eczema. So you have little, really dry patches. I've used it almost like a lotion after, because
Mhm.
I get
I have.
I have dry skin in the
Mhm.
winter, very, very dry. Their deodorant is good if you are allergic to baking soda. I have not broken out with that one. I've not tried their lip balm. I need to. And I want to try their serum, their eye serum for sure. And obviously I don't need bug spray right now because it's winter.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
But go quickly. Let's go through them again with the prices so that they can
Oh
see.
my. Let me
Mhm.
pull up the prices because I don't just know them right off. The
And that way they know.
market pricing
And if they're
is
buying online, there's gonna be, if you're buying online, there is shipping. Because we have to go through like a shipping company or whatnot. So I think we put a flat rate fee of, what was it,
It's $6.
$6. So two, if you guys want to like team up, if you know somebody and put your order in with one and get it shipped somewhere or something like that, that might be helpful.
Okay, so the pricing for our website, do you want to hold up
Mhm.
products as
Yep.
we go? We do have to upcharge some for the website processing fees. So if you buy at a market with cash, it's going to be cheaper than buying online. But if you're not in Northern Illinois, that's going to be a little bit difficult. So first we've got the deodorants. We've got two different scents of these. Forest is more of, we tried not to make them manly and feminine, but we've got Forest, which is more clean and woodsy. And then we've got Solace, which is more of a floral, how else would you say Solace is?
Yeah, it's like floral and clean. One's kind of clean and woodsy and one's more floral. They're both good. I use Forest, Sarah uses Solace. So yeah. And then we've got the two sizes. So if you just want to give it a try, there's the smaller size and the 1 ounce, which is how much?
The 1 ounce is $7.35 for both scents. And then the 2 ounce is $12.60. And they last forever.
Mhm.
The 1 ounce I can get more than 2 months out of. You use about a pea size at a time and it just lasts forever. You warm it up between your hands before applying. And yes, you do use your hands. People are so freaked out by that. We've had so many people turn away from buying
Really?
it because they
Yeah.
have to put it on without a
And
stick.
we're trying, yeah, and we're trying to get the tubes. I've looked, it's just it would be another charge. And like we said, our goal is really trying to get natural products into mom's hands at a price that most people can afford. So I did find some little like travel size tubes that I think we're looking at. So that way, if you want to try it, it's not going to be an outrageous amount and it'll still be in a tube form. So that'll be coming, hopefully.
So that is our deodorant. And then we've also got the famous healing salve. And for the 1 ounce size, it is $5.25. And the 2 ounces, $8.40. And this is good for cuts, scrapes, rashes, bruises. It's a heal all type product.
Mhm.
If you're allergic to any of the ingredients with any of our stuff, do not use it.
Disclaimer.
I have a friend who's allergic to beeswax, so she can't use some of our stuff because anything that's in a pot we use beeswax with, and
Yep.
our lip balm has beeswax. So if that's an issue for you, you'll want to look elsewhere. The eye serum is $7.35. This is a 10 milliliter size, and it
It lasts
is
about a month or so with regular use. Yeah, I'd say it lasts about a month or so with regular use. And like I said, I do my whole face, so like I use a lot of it.
so it lasts me longer because I'm not as consistent with it, and because I only do under eyes or dry patch areas. And that one plumps the under eyes, plumps the skin, so it's like a heavy hydrator. That's how it like pushes the wrinkles out. Coconut oil is in the deodorant and it is in the
Lip balm.
lip balm. We use coconut oil for both of those. The healing salve is made with olive oil. And then we've also got our bug bite roller, which is more of a seasonal item. It won't go bad really unless the oil spoils in it. So you
At
can
least
keep
a
it for,
year.
yeah, you can keep it for at least a year. And these ones are, $5.25. And it's super small. You can keep it in your bag. You can keep it in your car. And then we've also got the hand sanitizer, which is actually on sale already. We've got it on for $8 instead of 10 now, so it's 20% off. This would be an additional 20% off of that price.
Well, that one you do want to use within 6 months, which is why we're also putting it on sale.
Mhm.
Because the colloidal silver will start to lessen its effectiveness within about 6 months. So I still use mine up to a year, like if I found it hanging around the house, but over that, then the essential oils are still good, but
Yes, the essential oils in it are the 4 Thieves, which is what people would use to prevent sicknesses back in the day. So it will still have some potency, but it's not going to be as strong. Then we have the bug spray, and that one is not listed on the website at the moment because it is a seasonal item. It's
Yeah, it's
usually
rare,
usually listed for 10.
Yeah.
And
that one will stay.
yeah, that one stays good because it's a tincture that is the base, and then it has the essential oils in it. And then we also have 2 different gift sets that are an eye serum and a lip balm for $13.20, and then a
Small
salve and a lip balm, the 1 ounce salve and a lip balm that is for $11.20. And those look like this with the pretty gold packaging. And that is it for our product lineup. Oh, Jenny, I'm sorry. She's allergic to both coconut oil and olive. I can post recipes for any of this stuff, and you can substitute your own oils, whatever works for you. The best options are coconut and olive just because they're the most easily accessible. You can use avocado.
Yeah,
That's
avocado would be good.
one of the other options.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk about any recipe alterations and stuff?
I mean, it's fairly simple, it seems overwhelming when you're talking about herbalism and stuff like that, but it really is simple. If it's calling for oil, just you can use the oil that you have. I mean, that's how all this got started, was just people using stuff from their kitchen. So, it's fairly simple. Like if you're allergic to those things and you have an oil that you're not allergic to, just substitute with that. And then the beeswax, obviously, you'll need something that hardens. I don't know what your alternative to beeswax, soy wax or something. Yeah, I'm sure they're out there. So
there any oil she can use?
yeah, I'm not sure what oils you're not, that would be hard. Sunflower, but I don't know, because I do use like a coconut sunflower from Walmart, but you could just look for a straight sunflower, grapeseed, any of those. Yeah, jojoba, that would be good. Almond, I don't know. Any of those would be a good substitute, just more expensive too. That's the thing. We can get coconut oil, we can get olive oil for a lot cheaper. I do think avocado is more shelf stable, but
Sunflower and canola.
oh, there you go. Yeah, I would go with sunflower over canola. Canola is just known for having really bad processing. So, yeah. Oh, tallow. Don't get me started. I am working on experimenting. My husband is a butcher, and so I have it on my list. He's going to bring me some home. I'm going to render it, and I do want to start using that. I have seen and heard all the rave reviews. Yes, I have heard wonderful things about it. So it is on my radar. I am going to be experimenting, but yeah, it'll probably be a little while. So this is, like I said, this is our hobby. This is just what we do on the side. We're not doing it to get rich, just doing it to have fun and hopefully get people, a little more aware. That's why I love doing the farmers markets and being out in person and getting to talk to people about it. So.
All right. Any last words?
I was just gonna continue. I don't have any last words. Seeing people's light bulb moments at the farmer's market is amazing. Seeing people realize that something that they've been doing their entire lives is something that could be damaging them. Seeing that shift in their minds is incredible. It's like teaching a child something new, and you just see the magic in their eyes. But all of this natural stuff, do it a little at a time. Take a bite and work on the bite. You don't have to change it all at once. And if you're going to start making things, pick one thing I picked salve and then I made it again and again and again. And I invited ladies over to my house and made it again and again and again. And that's what I chose because it's something that impacted me so greatly. It's something that helped my daughter's diaper rash. It's something that helped her not grow a yeast rash under her arms anymore. So that has flourished into what it is now through Nicole's experience and my experience. And then you can start with just calendula. You don't have to put all the herbs in. Just
I've got a point. With herbalism. Yeah. So Rosemary
Mm-hmm.
Gladster is a total pagan lady. Just FYI disclaimer, but I love her as far as herbs. She is so knowledgeable, and she has the concept and the theory that if you want to get into herbs, that you pick 5 herbs. You pick 5 and you get to know those 5, and you know all the aspects of those 5. You know how to use them, how they work together, what they like to work with, and then you start from there. And when you go, so like I really like her, what's her book called? Beginner's
Guide to Herbalism.
Beginner's Guide to Herbalism. The whole first half is just like, I think it's like 10 or 15 herbs, and it's herbs you're used to. Cayenne. Yeah, kitchen herbs, cayenne, garlic, thyme, oregano, all these things that you already have on hand that you're used to. And it's just getting used to those things and what they can do for you, and learning those inside and out, and then moving forward. Because if you know one thing about 100 herbs, that's not going to get you anywhere near knowing 100 things about one herb, so that's a point that I really like to make.
That's something that she stressed to me when I started learning. When I started learning about herbs, I learned about what was in the tincture that I was taking for anxiety. I used Tulsi, lemon balm, and chamomile. And since then, I have learned so much about Tulsi and chamomile and lemon balm. And I put them in different things for different reasons, because every herb has multiple facets of what it's good for or who it's good for. Some of them are better for women than they are for men. So I would avoid giving my husband something that's going to increase estrogen, So there are also herbs that are better for men that I would avoid giving myself because they increase testosterone, like just different things like that. So I picked those 3 as my starter. You can pick a basic one that you've already got, like garlic. Garlic fixes so much.
Just one note. I mean, what started me years and years and years ago when Abby was a baby, she was 6 months old. I developed a bladder infection that, and I've talked about it before. I had it over and over and over and over again. They gave me every antibiotic, every 10 days I was on a new antibiotic, and I could not kick this bladder infection. And I started researching, and I found P73 Mediterranean grown oregano oil. And it's called oregano, and you can get it. It's pricey. It's very pricey, but I researched it, and I started putting it in capsules, and I would take about 6 drops in a capsule 3 times a day. And within 2 days, it had eliminated that bladder infection that rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds and rounds of antibiotics would not get rid of. And since then, I have treated strep throat with it. I went and got diagnosed with strep throat, and they gave me an antibiotic, and I came home and researched it, and it had a black box warning. Yes, where I think it was Keflex. And if a lot of people that take it, their muscles just disintegrate. And this is athletes. And I'm like, I'm not taking that chance. I don't want my muscles to explode on me. So I started the oregano oil again. I'm like, I'll go and get a different antibiotic. If this does not work within 2 days, my strep was gone. So I have been made fun of for using things like this, but I will always say, always trust your gut. If something is not working within 24 to 48 hours, go to the doctor. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But you can also take things into your own hands when you've tried the medical route and it's not helping. So, and that's what I did. And that's kind of what started me into researching alternative things. Eventually we went to no jabs, raw milk. And we try to do the things we can now, but that's kind of what started, was that my bladder infection would not go away. So
Knowledge is power.
yes.
Knowledge is power with all of this stuff. So anything that you are suffering with, learn how to fix it.
What Lynn said, that's what it was. It was Cipro or Kypro or whatever. Yes, what you said, Lynn, that was the antibiotic that they prescribed to me for it was strep or bladder infection, one of the 2 that they did, and I just was not willing to take that chance for a tendon rupture. So anything that has a black box, I'm going to be a little leery of. So,
Yeah.
but do you have any more last thoughts before we wrap it up?
Just kind of on what you're saying, I really think keeping balance is key. Don't feel like you can't ever go to the doctor, or you can't, it's knowing when to do this and when to do that. And you all know it for your own family and your own, where you're comfortable and that kind of stuff. So I think, yeah, balance is key. Don't stress out about it. Because if you go down those rabbit holes, it can get real stressful real quick when you start realizing what's going on and what they're putting in everything. And yeah. So yeah, just knowing, and then keeping your trust and everything in the Lord above all else. Cause that's really the key to not stressing. So.
Well, and Jenny, that sometimes happen. They don't really tell you about it, but after I had taken every antibiotic under the sun for my bladder infection that didn't go away, that's when I started my own research. I know you all know early on, I started researching hormonal birth control and the different things. And that's why I've never done that, because I've never been comfortable with the fact that it could be, it could abort a fertilized egg. So it was around that time when Abby was a baby that I really started my own research journey. And ever since then, and before I put anything in my mouth, I research it. No matter, I don't care if a doctor prescribes it, I research it. So, but any last thoughts?
Our health is in our hands. Learn things. I would like to say that our Instagram and Facebook are amazing resources. Right now, Nicole is taking on the majority of the posting. Yeah, she's trying to take on the majority of the posting. So we have all kinds of herbal education, all kinds of natural living stuff. So we've got an Instagram and a Facebook. I can link them both along with the website in the Gently Led Sisters group. And you can message us on there if you have any sort of questions. We can research stuff for you. Both of us love finding out new things that we haven't had experience with. So make sure you use us as a resource, because we're here.
And I do that. I'll be like, okay, eye twitch, go.
Yeah.
What do I do for my eye twitch? Okay, Nicole, headache, go. Okay, Nicole, thyroid nodule, go.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? So they're great resources, but thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
And remember,
having us.
GLS 20
Mhm.
at the checkout. If you go to it, look up Sage and Solace. Is it just Sage and Solace on Instagram?
Sage and Solace Apothecary.
Sage and Solace Apothecary on Instagram. It should come up. It's Sage and Solace at protonmail.com
That's our email.
is their email if you have any questions, but definitely check out their products. This is a good time to get them with the 20% off. So that'll at least cover the shipping, maybe not quite the shipping, but a lot of the shipping. So that would be a good time to get it. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
And we will see you ladies next week.